Meanwhile, a court in Myanmar has sentenced two Reuters journalists to 7 years in prison. The two journalists were jailed for illegally possessing official documents. The two men had pleaded not guilty during their trial and had repeatedly claimed that they were being framed. The reporters were convicted of breaching the country's secrecy law while they were reporting on the Rohingya crisis. Reporters War Lon and Kwa So have been held in Yangon prison since their arrest in December last year.
They will take any option, all options to get them out, including those questioning, the appeal, the reservation, all those things. We will take immediately, as soon as possible, to release them.
And the editor-in-chief of Reuters issued a response to the verdict of the court, calling it a sad day for Myanmar, the two Reuters journalists, and the press the world over.
This is a major step backward in Myanmar's transition to democracy, cannot be squared with the rule of law or freedom of speech, and must be corrected by the Myanmar government as a matter of urgency. We will not wait while WION and Chaw So Oo suffer this injustice, and will evaluate how to proceed in the coming days, including whether to seek relief in an international forum.
This is sending a signal to the rest of the Myanmar reporters that if you cross the military, if you cross the government, they can make your life a living hell. And we saw in this court very little presented in terms of real evidence to indicate that there was a violation. It looked like a setup to us from the get-go. And the truly ironic and horrible thing about this is that these two reporters are now slated to spend longer time in prison than the soldiers who killed the 10 Rohingya that was the subject of their story in the first place.
Meanwhile, the United Nations in Myanmar has called for the release of the jailed reporters. The two journalists were investigating the killings of 10 members of the Rohingya community in Rakhine State. The two journalists said that they were invited to dinner by the police, who then handed them documents before the pair was arrested. The duo, both Myanmar nationals, were charged with violating the Official Secrets Act, a draconian British colonial-era law which attracts a maximum punishment of 14 years in prison. The case had sparked international outrage over the attack on media freedom and has intensified the glare on Myanmar security forces over their crackdown on the Rohingya Muslim minority in Rakhine State. The military crackdown in Myanmar last year had driven 700,000 Rohingyas into neighboring Bangladesh and other countries. Persecuted Rohingyas left home carrying with them accounts of atrocities, rape, murder and arson by Myanmar security forces. Some foreign governments and international organizations have described the Myanmar security forces' crackdown on the Rohingya minorities as ethnic cleansing.